Arkham City. Okay, this is my review of Batman Arkham City on Xbox 360. So this is a really great game. So Batman Arkham City is a sequel to Arkham Asylum. So the story of Arkham City. So Arkham City begins roughly 1 year after the events of Arkham Asylum. And in it, all the major supervillains and criminals in Arkham Asylum have been moved to Arkham City, which is an area that's been sealed off within Gotham City, and is being controlled by Hugo Strange and his Tiger Patrol. So basically, I'm not going to spoil too much, but pretty much at the beginning of the game, Bruce Wayne is like protesting and giving a speech and petitioning against the creation of Arkham City because, you know, it's a pretty stupid idea. And, you know, there's murder and mayhem and all sorts going on inside the boundaries. Bruce Wayne basically petitions and protests, and in it he gets kidnapped right at the beginning of the game, and he gets dumped into Arkham City, and Hugo Strange reveals that he knows the true identity of Batman. And once you get the Batsuit and you don the Batsuit, you pretty much spend the rest of the game going through the main storyline and trying to discover what Protocol 10 is, at the same time as trying to protect those inmates, those people that have been thrown in to Arkham City as political prisoners because they've been like protesting against the new kind of military state. Yeah, and pretty much, you know, you go around trying to protect those and dealing with all the big, the main supervillains, whilst trying to discover this secret mystery plot that's going on, and trying to find out what Hugo Strange has planned for Arkham City, and then eventually Gotham City, you know, because Batman's got to save Gotham City. It's what he does. So yeah, so the main that's the main story. So the next thing, the characters. So another thing that makes Arkham City really awesome is the sheer variety of characters within the game. Now, Arkham Asylum was a fantastic game in itself, and when I bought Arkham City, I was really like, how is Arkham City going to like improve upon Arkham Asylum? Because Arkham Asylum is a great game in itself. And one of the ways it really has improved hugely over Arkham City, like I said, is the sheer variety of characters in this game. It's so huge. So the good guys. So okay, of course, Bruce Wayne, aka Batman, is in the main game. The really cool thing as well is thanks to DLC, you now get to play as Robin in the new Revenge of Harley Quinn DLC content. You get to play as Robin. You also get to play as Nightwing in the challenges, in the challenge maps, and the really cool thing is, free with the game, when you download the game, you also get the Catwoman content. So you also get to play like extra missions as Catwoman throughout the main story. So it's really cool. You get to play as all these like different kind of good guys. And it's really awesome because they all handle very, very differently. So like when you play as Batman, the style in which you play is very, very different, say as if you were playing as Catwoman or Robin. One of the major differences is just their fighting style. So Batman is just, you know, he's Batman, so he's tough and he kicks arse and he is awesome. Well, you know, Batman is the Dark Knight, so, you know, if you fighting as Batman, you know, the emphasis is on strength and punches and takedowns, and you just feel physically like like tough and really hard and really hardened and really strong. And then if you play as Robin, you know, his style as well is very, very different in the way he moves and the way he fights. You know, it's much more, you know, acrobatic, and he's obviously not as strong as Batman, so he relies a lot on, like, you know, quick 1-2s, and, you know, diving out of the way and making use of his, like, his pole, and which turns into a really awesome shield when you want to block against, like, machine guns or something. So it's really, really cool. And then obviously if you play as Catwoman, Catwoman is a lot of fun to play with. At first I got really frustrated because I was used to playing as Batman, and Batman's, like, you know, has really, you know, strong armor and can take lots of hits, and he's tough and everything, and, you know, even guns, like, you don't want to get caught by a gun, but he can take more hits than Catwoman. And so I'd play as Catwoman, and I'd just be like down for the count, and I'd be like, okay, so I have to play differently. And that was kind of cool. Like, so she's very very graceful, very fluid, little sexy, like, you know, little sexy, little teasing. Like, her combos are actually really, really fun to play as, and some of her moves are just really funny, and really reflects her character really, really well. So yeah, so like playing as Catwoman was at first frustrating, but then really, really enjoyable. But the main thing is obviously the villains. Oh, there's so many, like, great supervillains in this game. You know, there's obviously people returning from the previous game. Poison Ivy is back, although she doesn't have as big a role, but she does make an appearance. So Poison Ivy is back. Joker, my favorite villain of all time, Joker is back, along with Harley Quinn. And then you have some new faces. So Penguin and Two-Face and Dr. Freeze and Hugo Strange, Clayface, Ra's al Ghul, the Mad Hatter, Riddler. It's really awesome just to have all these villains back, and it's really cool. Arkham City itself is just so awesome because the way in which it's divided is each area is divided. You know, the supervillains kind of basically take over, like, territory, their areas. And it's really fun because, like, each area in Arkham City is, like, very unique in its style and really reflects, you know, the style and the character of, like, the supervillain that's controlling that area. And it's so much fun just to, like, glide around, and you really feel it. It's really awesome. And yes, all the supervillains are really cool, and they're all very, very different. So the way in which you tackle each supervillain is very, very different. You know, you don't deal with Joker the same way you deal with Penguin, or you deal with Dr. Freeze, or you deal with Clayface, or, like, it's just it's really clever. It's very different. So the game, you know, you really have to use, you know, your brains as well as your brawn and all your detective skills as well, and all your gadgets and everything, which I'll get to later. But yeah, the villains are really awesome, and one of the main things that makes, like, the sheer cast of characters so great is the voice acting. The voice acting in this game is really phenomenal, and for me, voice acting is one of the real key things that makes a game great. And most games now in the industry have really good voice actors, and they really employ great voice actors. And Batman is no exception. Arkham Asylum had great voice actors, and I love the fact that many actors have returned to reprise their roles. And you know, for example, like, Batman is voiced by the legendary voice of Kevin Conroy, and Joker is voiced by who is, in my opinion, the best Joker that's voice acted that's ever existed. Not on movie, voice acted that's ever existed, and that is Mark Hamill, the legend that is Mark Hamill. And so yeah, like, the voice acting is just so funny. It's just, it really brings the characters to life, and they just, particularly Mark Hamill, they just make you laugh, and it's just great, really, really great. And I love the fact that the voice actors, most of the voice actors are from Batman the Animated series, which for me is